Hello everybody, how are you doing? I told y'all I was looking for pink. Apparently it wasn't pink, it was lavender. So I got another yellow one and I got two lavender. You can't see the other one. There it is. So I have all these lined up now. These are from Dollar Tree. These are a new release, but I have bought almost the exact same thing before. It looked almost exactly the same. So there's my sunflowers. It's really dark this direction. I think we're about to have a excuse me, a storm. It's storming somewhere in Fayette County, but not here. But I don't know. It looks. I think I'm hearing thunder. We'll see. We'll see how long I can stay out here. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing it. Okay, it's not that loud yet. By the way, it doesn't really scare me. I mean, it had to be pretty serious before I get uptight. Although I'm sitting in front of something metal that I'm propping you on, I should probably be more uptight than I'm saying. I have good news. This cat that's been living here, NOC, not our cat, Knock. I finally found a place to take him today. I always like get my hopes up about stuff and then I get them dashed. So I didn't ask about the price or anything. I just needed this cat fixed. So I took Boo to Bolivar. Bolivar is a really long way. It's like 45 minutes. And I actually don't mind driving that far, but driving all the way there and having to leave him and drive all the way back and then drive all the way, you know, it's a lot of driving, and I'm doing a lot of driving anyway because of my dad. So they only charge $90. Now this was a year ago. They only charge $90. And then I need a fecal done. Turned out Knock didn't have any worms, which is weird. I think we wormed him one time ourselves for roundworms, but one time shouldn't have fixed it. So I don't know. They did not apparently find any worms, which I'm questioning. He eats like a horse and he's very thin, which I question what's going on. Anyway, but I took him to a different place. So because I didn't, well, Bolivar wormed Boo, told us he had coccidia, which is really bad. That's really serious. It's hard to get rid of. Did not give us enough wormer. Had to drive all the way, 45 minutes again, back over there. I think it's kind of on the way to Jackson, sort of. It's a longer drive than I would normally do it, but since I need to pick up something, I just went that way. So you can go that way to Jackson. So I had to drive all the way back over there to pick up more wormer. And then they said it was my fault. And I was like, we've wormed a lot of pets. And actually Spencer did it. I might have questioned myself more than I would question him. I was like, it's not us, it's you. And actually when I picked it up, it didn't look like it was enough. So I get all the way back over there, and then the girl at the front desk is blaming it on me. And she goes, our manager did, drew that up. I don't care. Y'all might remember this. I'm like, I don't care who drew it up. Anybody can make a mistake. Listen, I've cleaned houses for 26 years. You think I don't ever make a mistake cleaning a house? I'm sure I do. I'm sure I forget to do something, or sometimes I leave something there. I mean, I'm not perfect. Neither are these people. So anyway, I got real turned off by that. They did a great job on Boo's tail because his tail was infected, had to be complete, almost, he has like a little nub. More of it had to be cut off. He was already missing a lot. More had to be cut off. And then they did a great job with that. So that was A+. But the whole thing with having to go back over there and get the wormer and then it blamed on me, that I was not a happy camper. Anyway, I didn't ask this new place how much it was going to be. It wasn't that much more, except they gave him all these shots. And I'm not talking about vaccines. I went to this place because I didn't want vaccines. If you want to call me anti-vaxxer, I don't care. I don't get offended. Whatever you want to call me is fine. I no longer get vaccines for myself, and I get very few for the pets, as few as I can get by with. I had to give Boo a rabies shot the minute, that's why, another reason I didn't want to go back in there. We can't take him to the back and tell us he has a rabies shot. Well, the rabies shot doesn't kick in immediately. It takes a couple of weeks at least for the rabies shot to kick in. So, what is you taking him back there and getting him a rabies shot? What's that doing for you exactly? This kind of stuff, this whole attitude just irritates me. So, friends of ours, we happened to run into them we had a lunch at our church, and they happen to be there. They used to go to our church. They don't go there anymore. They happen to be there. And I said, who are y'all going to for a vet now? Because I knew she wasn't real big on vaccinating, or they weren't. They had show dogs, and I don't think you do a lot of vaccinating of show dogs. I'm not sure. Maybe some people do, but I just know they're not big into it. So I knew they would know where to go. They did. That worked out great. Nobody pushed me to get any vaccines. Spencer wanted to get me to get rabies, and I was like, I really didn't want to do it. I have reasons. I'm not worried about rabies. He's a little bit worried about rabies. I am worried about rabies this much. So I did not want to do it. So, but then when she tells me what the charge is, I was like, it seems kind of high. Because my friend told me they weren't expensive. I was like, why is it so much more expensive than Bolivar was? Well, they gave him 3 shots, not vaccines. They gave him, now I know what a convenience shot is. The first shot I've never heard of. That may have had to do with like just the surgery in general. But there were 2 other shots on there, and I knew what they were. Metacam is one, that's for inflammation. Okay, it was only $15. I would have preferred a liquid medication, but they knew he was like a outdoor cat, and they probably didn't know if I could get a hold of him. I can. He's very tame. No problem. Well, okay, whatever. But then I said, so I didn't question about that one, but I said, why did they give him a convenience shot? A convenience shot is almost, some places it's more than, they actually charge me less than 50. It's usually more than $50, so I would say they are definitely charging less than other places. I think they charged $46 for it. In some places it's probably $55 or $60 at this point. I usually say no to it because I don't want it. If they were worried about infection, they could have given me liquid medicine or pills. I would do either one. I said, why did he need a convenience shot? Oh, they give that with the spay or with the neuter. The girl up front, she's just an upfront person. She's, not the doctor. So I wasn't gonna like start going off. But I was like, why? Why does he need why can't you give me a liquid and an anti-inflammatory? We have spayed and neutered numerous pets. No one has ever gotten a convenience shot with that, okay? How unnecessary is that? Why? Why does he need an antibiotic shot? So I'm just like, for crying out loud, if he needed all this, you could have just given me pills or liquids or whatever. I didn't have to have shot for him, okay? So that, of course, irritated me. But if I ever go over there again, I'm going to know to say, no convenient shot. Thank you so much. We've never needed that. Now, I will say he has an abscess on his head. However, we have treated it, and I'm pretty sure we've treated it successfully. It did have stuff coming out of it, and now it looks cleared up. So I thought, well, maybe they gave him that because he was so beat up, because he has a lot of scratches, but I don't think anything's actually infected at this point. Although there is a problem with one of his toenails. Spencer was concerned about that. So maybe it'll clear up, maybe it'll all work out and be fine, and I'm sure it will be fine. To me, 100% completely unnecessary. I didn't think he needed 3 shots while he was there. It doesn't matter what I do, it backfires, Now I'm like, if I'd known he was gonna get shots, I could have gone to Bolivar, and for $90 plus the $15 for the rabies, we could have got him the 1 shot, Because, Boo had a major surgery on his tail, and he didn't get a convenient, I don't think he got a convenient shot. I ended up paying a lot. That visit ended up being, it wasn't because he had to have his tail cut off. It ended up being very expensive. It was like $500 for him. Well, it was like $250 today, $240. It was a little over $240 today. So, still expensive. So anyway, and both of those clinics are supposed to be really reasonable. Bolivar is supposed to be the cheapest, but it was still a $500 surgery once we got to the tail cutting off part. Go figure. So anyway, whatever. But I also asked for some tests to be run on him. I asked for feline leukemia and feline AIDS. Mostly I wanted to know about leukemia. AIDS isn't that catching. he had, for cats, feline AIDS is not that catching. He had not been here as long. This other cat's been here for so long. If he's got it, it's bad news. They're all gonna, it's very catching. Feline leukemia is very catching. So if, I didn't want to take him anywhere. I didn't want to put him in my car. I didn't want to deal with it. I've wanted him to leave for months. He's not leaving. So I finally took care of it. Go me. But again, it backfired right back on me. Never fails. It's feeling really nice out here. It's been very, very warm. Very, very warm. I noticed the humidity was only 50% today. That's very low for us. It's not very low, but it's pretty low. Pretty low. It was still very, very warm. Very. You just open the back door and you're like, oh, heat hitting your face. So, but I love summer. So it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's like whatever. It's supposed to be hot. It's June. So anyway, I got to remember to start looking at the Florida temperatures, because I say I want to move to Florida. I got to look at Florida temperatures, make sure they're still close, because everybody's like, I don't know how you want to move down there. It's so hot. I think the temperature was supposed to be hotter here today than it was. I was specifically looking at the Villages, which is pretty far down. I think it's midway down. So I figured it's a good place to look. That's where my cousin lives. So I think it was supposed to be 89 here, but it felt hotter than that to me. And I think it was supposed to be 86 there. So basically same, whatever. Let's see I ordered this ring. So I think it's supposed to be adjustable. I can't quite understand this. It's an acupressure ring, and it's supposed to help. I got it, I got advertised to on Facebook, and I guess Facebook knew that I was having barometric pressure headaches. So I got advertised to, it was targeted straight to me. If you're having barometric pressure, headaches, you need this ring. Well, the problem is stainless steel. It wasn't expensive. It was like $26. They didn't charge me for shipping. I thought it was worth it just to try it. It also is supposed to help sleep. The problem is it's really hard to, I thought it would be easy to adjust. It's very difficult to adjust, and I told Spencer, I said, try to adjust it, because it's like really loose. I'm supposed to wear it on this finger for headaches or migraines. It's very loose. So you can wear it on your thumb for sleep. So when it gets too loose here, I put it on my thumb, because in the house it's pretty cool. If I'm outside and it's really hot, then it's tight. But it's kind of tight on I kind of have trouble getting it off. It's not tight here, but it's tight right here. So, but you see how I'm afraid I'm going to lose it, because it's so loose right here. But this is my biggest finger besides my thumbs. So anyway, he tried to make it tighter, but I don't think it moved. Or at first I thought it moved. Maybe my finger shrunk since then. I don't know. It seems like it's just really loose. Anyway, you can wear it on different fingers, but the problem is I can't adjust it to wear on any other fingers. So I can wear it on the index finger, but every finger does something different. So let's say I don't remember what the other ones are. Let's just say you were having a high stress day and you wanted to use it on a different finger. I can't get it that small. And then even, if it's supposed to be acupressure, it's not, what's it pressing on? It also has magnets in it, so that's interesting. But you see, this is not pressing on anything. Here, even here, it's still loose. So I don't know. But I will say, I don't know if it's a coincidence or what. The first day when I put it on, it made me kind of tired. And then that night I slept like a dead person. This is the best sleep I've had, and I can't tell you how long. And I don't know if it was a coincidence or if it was actually doing something. I like to think it was doing something. I would like to think it's helping. I don't know. The other thing is, my chiropractor worked on my neck, and I haven't been having as many headaches. So I don't even know if I can say for sure if it's going to help headaches or not, because before I ever got in the mail, I had quit having headaches. I ordered it. It took what seemed like forever. I think it was probably only a week. But in the meantime, I'd seen the chiropractor. He'd worked on my neck, and the headaches were better. I also have switched pillows. I think switching pillows has helped. Woo! If we don't get rain, it's okay. It's cooling off a lot. It's a lot cooler. But yeah, I'm on a pillow that's not as high up. I think that's making, shorter pillow is making my neck not, I couldn't figure out if I pulled something over here, but it just, like if I just do like this, just moving my head like that, my neck just hurts all the way down to my shoulder. Just like that. Just moving my head like that. I can feel it. So I don't know if I pulled something. It feels like it's about half fixed. Whatever he did to it feels like it about half fixed it. I wanted to go see him today, but then I got wrapped up with this deal with the cat, and that was still a lot of driving. It was 30 minutes away. This place is 30 minutes away, which isn't bad, except that I had to do it twice, so that ended up being 2 hours. But on the way, when I left there, I went to the gym. I haven't been in the gym in like a week because of dealing with Dad and the hospital and the rehab and the everything. So I told Dad I wasn't coming today. I said, I really, if I can talk these people into fixing this cat, I'm going to take him today. Because I just learned about this vet, I think, a week ago. And I've been very excited about trying it. And, you know, my vet's great, but it's hard to get in. My vet, if they're sick, like my vet is not big on vaccinating. And if they're sick, there's a reason that he can say, okay, he can't be vaccinated because he's sick. But there's, other than the fact this cat's been beat up, there's nothing wrong with this cat. He's healthy, as far as I can tell, very healthy. So I didn't want a situation where I waited on my vet to do it, and then I'd have to have an appointment. I wouldn't just be able to do a walk-in and have my actual vet do it. And then the other vets push vaccines big time. Like, there's a whole long, it's not just rabies. There's like a long list where you got to get this, you got to get that. And it's just like, we don't get any of that. Well, these are necessary. It's like, but they're not. I mean, we haven't, my cats have barely been vaccinated in 15 years. Literally, I quit vaccinating. I barely vaccinated or quit 15 years ago. And they're fine. They're living their normal life like they lived before when I was vaccinating. But I think most of them are healthier. I mean, I'm the one that has to pay the vet bills. Shouldn't I be able to decide if I want them to have all these vaccines? Anyway, the vet that he's in with is just rabid about these vaccines. So anyway, that's why I was looking for somebody who was not rabid about it. And I found somebody. So they did call me. They did call me, and she's like, the vet wants to know, did you want to do like preventions or vaccines? I already signed a piece of paper saying I didn't want any of that. Did y'all not read the piece of paper I signed? There was this, like a pre-surgery form I had to sign. It had vaccines down there, and I was like, no, thank you. So I guess you could say that was a little pushy, but as long as I'm still allowed to say no, they can keep asking me. I don't care, as long as I'm allowed to say no, and we can move on. And they don't go, you have to, you got to have this whole long list of vaccines. Anyway, it's too much. I will tell you, so the girl I clean for, I hardly clean for anybody anymore, but I clean for a veterinarian, and she works at the specialist office. She's very specialized. She does ultrasounds. I think that's like all she does. She went to school for that. I mean, she went to vet school, then she went to ultrasound school or whatever. Anyway, she got a kitten, Murphy. Love Murphy. Murphy was so much fun. Murphy was happy. He was running. He was playing. He was having the best time. He did have some runny poo. I did notice that. But he was running and playing and having the best time. And then one week she said, he's not going to be here. He's getting his next set of vaccines, which I think with kittens, what is it, 2 or 3 sets? I think same with puppies. It's a lot of sets. I used to do all this. I used to do every single thing they told me to do. I did it all. Never complained, nothing. I just, yep, give them everything. We need everything. We got to have all these. Well, Murphy started going downhill, and I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure that's what happened, but he did get a lot of vaccines, and they're giving more now. You know, like when I was a kid, they didn't have all these vaccines for cats. Now they're adding more. It's like feline leukemia and feline this and feline that and blah, blah, whatever. I don't even know what all they have anymore because I don't do them. But, so I don't know what all he got, but I'm sure he got everything that was out there for a cat. And he got real sick at some point. I mean, not long after he had gotten all these vaccines again, or this other set or whatever, I guess the third set. He was real lethargic. He will barely play. He's really tired all the time. He got very sick. The diarrhea, whatever was going on with the diarrhea, got much worse. So I'm just telling you, the cat was healthy. Now he's not. I don't know what's to blame for it, but in the meantime, he got another set of shots. Do I know for sure? No. I can't swear to anything, but I can tell you it's a huge load of shots to keep giving these cats. That's why I quit doing it. And my vet told me, so like when Cricket was little, Cricket was diagnosed very young, like at 2 years old, with IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease. And then I took her in, just like I took everybody in. 15 years ago, I took everybody in for vaccines. Took her in for vaccines, and he said, why are you vaccinating this cat? She's very sick with this. She has this autoimmune disease. And I was like, I don't know, I thought I was supposed to. I thought I was supposed to come in here every year, and that's what I've always done, and that's what I was always told to do, and I just come in and I get these vaccines done. The yearly, that's what I do. That's what everybody does. Come on, that's what everybody does. And he said that to me, and then he left the room, and then his text started going off at me. Why aren't you vaccinating her? And I was like, were you not in here for that same conversation I was in here for? He's told me not to because she has autoimmune disease. So once he told me that, I started studying it all for myself. And that's when I decided he's more pro-vaccine than I am at this point. I'm very anti. He's a little bit more, but he did tell me at the time, he said, you don't have to, if you don't want to give your cats rabies, you don't have to. I'm not going to make you do it. And I think he mostly meant the indoor ones, but I don't think there's that much rabies out here anymore, if I'm just being honest. I don't ever hear about rabies. I feel like that'd be a big news story. Rabid animal running through the streets. I think we'd all hear about it. I don't know. I don't hear it. So anyway, that's kind of my take on that. And I don't mean to be offensive. That's just my study, what I've learned, where I've gone over the years. I used to vaccinate everything. I vaccinated myself. I got the flu shot every year. I've vaccinated these pets. The dogs, all my dogs had every vaccine. Then when I got Ranger, cut that off. The vet actually got irritated with me because I wouldn't get him, was it distemper? He'd had a distemper and I wouldn't get him another one. I said, nope, he's done. Because what I read was these vaccines last a good 15 years. There's no reason to keep giving them. One rabies will last them about 14, 15 years. And that's about how long they're going to live. So you don't need 15 of them, you just need one. But that's not what you hear at the vet office. At the vet office, you got to get you got to get this, you got to get that, you got to get the other. So he did get on to me about that, and I was like, he's not even around dogs. He doesn't like dogs. And the dogs next door, at the time, these people next door had like 8 dogs. Well, I feel sure they were vaccinating because most people are. So I wasn't worried. And he wasn't with their dogs. I think it goes through the air. He's like, well, it goes through the air. And I'm like, okay, but he's never around dogs. No, I didn't mention. He's next door to 8 dogs. I didn't mention that, but I feel sure they were vaccinating. And then he was with my neighbor's dog. She was vaccinating. Okay. Mine wasn't, but everybody else's was. You see what I'm saying? So like, okay, how's he gonna get it? And he never got it. He never got distemper. So anyway, I wasn't worried about it. And the other thing I'll say about it is, so the vet has, this is my vet, the vet has, they all, I think, have to get a rabies shot before they can be a vet. So my vet got his rabies shot in like 1980 or something. He still gets titer tested and titer tests show you if you're still have the immunity or the antibodies or whatever. He told me this a few years ago. He's like, I just got, titer tested for my rabies shot. It's still good, and from 1980. So if you're wondering if your dog's rabies shot is good from last year to this year, if you're wondering if you need one this year, I would say no, probably not. Probably not. Probably good for at least 15 years, if not 30. Your dog's not going to live that long. Anyway, just a little food for thought there, but just my life that I can't win because I didn't want all those shots. I didn't want that cat loaded up with shots today. I think that is ridiculous. Just too much. Too many chemicals. Too much. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. Dad's doing pretty well at rehab. Like I said, I didn't go today. I'm not going tomorrow. I'm gonna go check on them on Wednesday and on Friday this week. I'm trying to kind of just, they keep him pretty busy during the day. So between exercising, all the exercising that they're doing and meals, I feel like he's pretty busy. So he doesn't really need me as much. And he did tell me to, he's like, you just need to relax and not be under stress. I'm here. They're watching over me. Don't have so much stress. I'm like, okay, I'll take that and run with it. I'm going to stay home some this week. So that's what I'm doing. I was there a lot last week, but I'm going to stay home some this week. So hope you guys have a great week. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.